Hi guys, it's me Roslyn, and now I will help you out how to fill out form I-129F. So first you need to download the I-129F form. So go to Google, then type I-129F. Okay, it's in here, and then you have to click enter, and as you can see in here, I-129F petition for alien fiance USCIS. You have to click this, and you will go to the website of USCIS, US Citizen and Immigration Services. So just make sure you will get all your forms to USCIS website. Don't get your forms with the other websites, only to USCIS website. Okay, so in here, form I-129F, just click here and you will download the form I-129F. I already have the form. I downloaded it, and I already I started to fill out the form so we can go through faster. Okay, so this form, USCIS form I-129F, expires August 31st, 2018. So whatever form that the USCIS website have, meaning that is the latest form that they have. Okay, so this expires August 31st, 2018. So meaning this is the latest of the form I-129F from the USCIS website. So I-129F, the petitioner will fill out this form. Okay, on part 1, information about you, the petitioner. The alien registration number, or A number, is assigned to a foreign national after she files or he files immigration paperwork. Unless you immigrated to the US, you do not have an A number. If you have been a resident in the past, this number appears on your alien registration card, or I-551, usually referred to as a green card. If you do not have an alien registration number, just leave it blank. Okay, so number 2, USCIS online account number, if any. So USCIS online account number, USCIS is transitioning very slowly to online form filing. For now, only very limited forms are filed online, including green card renewal applications and naturalizations, unless you've completed the immigration process before. You probably do not have an online account, so in that case, just leave it blank. Then on number 3, U.S. Social Security number. List your Social Security number here. And then next, since you are completing a petition for a fiancé visa, you should mark for a fiancé K1 visa. Just click this one for A. Then if you are filing to classify your spouse as K3, have you filed form I-130? No. But if yes, just click yes. Okay. The next, item 6A to 6C, enter the petitioner's current and complete legal name. This should be the same name that appears on the individual's passport. So make sure you need to check your passport. If there is a discrepancy between what is listed here in the passport, you will likely need to update your passport to reflect your current name. Just make sure your name that you will put in here is the same on your passport. Okay? The next, 7A to 7C, list all other names that you have ever used. Let's say, for example, if you have maiden name, just put it in here. Okay, let's say you're married before and you are a woman. Of course, you will change your last name. You have to put it in here. Okay, but if you don't have other name, just leave it blank. Some says if you have nicknames or alias, put it in here, but I think and I suggest just leave it blank, because I really don't know if you will have any problem if you will put your nickname here. Okay, just leave it blank. And then your mailing address, 8A to 8J. This can be whatever address you would like use for receiving correspondence about the immigration petition. If you have any known problems receiving mail at your residential address, consider renting a P.O. box. It will be a major hassle for you if you miss a correspondence in your immigration case. So just type the street number, if you have the apartment, city, town, state, zip code, province, and postal code, just leave it blank. Country, USA. Then AJ, is your current mailing address the same as your physical address? If yes, just click yes. If no, just click no, and you need to provide your physical address on item numbers 9A to 9H. Here, you have to put your physical address here. Okay, but if on 8A to 8I, this is your physical address, you don't need to put anything in here, and then the date too, I think it is automatically encoded present. Okay, but if not, just put present in here. Okay, I just want to put a note on this, or a tip. In this section of the petition, you will be asked to provide all of the address where you have lived for the 5 years and the dates you are living at each address. So make sure the dates match up so that the date 2 or move out date for address 2 matches the date from move in date for address 1. So in here, date from, date 2, physical address, date from, date 2. So on physical address 2, if you put August 29 in here, date 2, you have to put on date from, what did I say, August 29, you have to put on date from August 30 or August 29. Okay, just make sure the date match. Okay, August 29, you have to put here date from August 29 also. Okay, and then date 2. If present, just put present. Okay, and then employment history. Provide full and physical address for your most recent employer, regardless of where in the world the employer was located, and dates of employment. If you have never been employed, write unemployed in item 13. For item 15, list your job title. Okay, so let's say today 2018, so 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, up to 2013. From the start 2013 to 2018, if you have 3 jobs or 3 employment, you have to put it in here. Or if you have 2, you have to put it in here. Just put on employer 1 the most recent, and then the next is on employer 2. Okay, and of course you have to put the employment date, start, and employment end date. So also an employer too. Okay. And then on part 1, information about you, continuation of this, the employment history. And then the other information, so gender, if you are male, if you are female, then date of birth. Ensure that this match the date of birth on your birth certificate and identity documents. If there is a discrepancy, you will need to explain it during the process. Okay, your birth certificate support this, whatever the date you will put in here. So make sure it's the same. Okay, the marital status, since you are applying for fiancé visa, your response should be single, divorced, or widowed. If you are currently married, please go back to the eligibility section of this resource. Because if you are married and you will file a K1 fiancé visa, and I'm pretty sure that you will not approve. Your petition will not approve because you are still married. Okay, make sure you are divorced, you are already divorced, and make sure you have a supporting documents for that. Okay, and then the location of birth. Provide information about the physical location where you were born. For item 24, ensure that you list the actual name of the municipality and not a neighborhood within the city. So make sure this is the actual name of the municipality, the city, the province or state of birth, and country of birth. Okay, then item 27A, 36B, information about your parents. If you lack any of this requested information about your parents, simply write unknown in the relevant field. Doing so normally will not create a problem for the petition, but that is appropriate only when you cannot ascertain the information, not when you just forgot your mother's birthday. Okay, so if parents 1, just put your mother information here, and then parents 2, just put your father information here. Okay, and then on 37, have you ever been previously married? If you have ever been married to anyone anywhere in the world, you need to answer this item in the affirmative. Do not attempt to conceal a prior marriage. Okay, so if yes, there is a portion here that you need to answer, and then if no, just leave 38A to 39 blank. Okay, so if you were previously married, enter the spouse full name in here. The date of marriage ended is the date on where your marriage was legally terminated. The final divorce, dissolution decree, or annulment, or your former spouse died. If you have had more than one prior marriage, provide the same information about the other spouse on part 8. Okay, part 8 is on this area. I think it is at the bottom. Okay, this area. If you can see, there is a number here. So you can put it in here, whatever number, whatever question number that you may see on that question. Where are we now? Sorry about that. Okay, so your citizenship information. Your citizenship information, in order to be eligible to file a Form I-129F petition, you must be a U.S. citizen. This reports on how you gain status as a United States citizen. Most people will answer using item 40A, birth in the United States, that they were born in the United States, or answer 40B, Naturalization applies if you were previously a green card holder yourself and naturalized to become a U.S. citizen. 40C applies if you gained your citizenship due to the status of your parents and were born outside the United States. Okay, then 45, Certificate of Citizenship or Certificate of Naturalization. This applies primarily to individuals who answered yes to item 40B. Okay, as former green card holders, most individuals who gain status through their parents will not necessarily have a certificate of naturalization. Often such individuals document citizenship through something called a consular report of birth abroad. If you were born abroad to United States citizen parents, you should ask your parents if they acquired a certificate of citizenship for you, as you may not have ever actually seen it. Okay, so just click no if you click 40A. Okay, and the next 42A to 42C, information about your certificate. If you answered yes to item 41, this one, you need to provide the information here. If you have lost your certificate, you can write unknown. However, I would recommend that you obtain a replacement certificate. Doing so is time consuming, so you should go ahead and get started. This petition will continue to be processed in all likelihood as long as you can document your citizenship. For example, with a current U.S. passport. Okay, on item 43, have you filed a prior petition, a fiancé petition? So have you ever filed Form I-129F for any other beneficiary? If yes, just click yes. And then you will answer this, and if no, just click no. Okay, on item 44 to 47, if you indicate yes to item 43, you must provide information about that fiancé petition. If you have filed more than one previous fiancé petition, information about those other petition must be reported on Part 8. Part 8 at the bottom of this form. I already showed it to you, right? So for any information in the section that you do not know, you may respond with unknown. If you lack such information, however, I recommend filing a Freedom of Information Act request with USCIS to obtain a copy of the file in the previous case. Okay? Then, do you have any children under 18 years of age? If yes, just click yes. If no, just click no. But if you click yes, if you have children under age 18, their age and location of residence must be reported here. Okay, that includes biological children as well as stepchildren and adopted children. If you have more than 2 children, use additional space in Part 8. Part 8 is at the bottom of this form. Okay, and then provide all U.S. states and foreign countries in which you have residence since your 18th birthday. So what is the state, then country. Okay, then residence 2 if you have. Then part 2, information about your beneficiary. This part asked about formation concerning the individual who will be applied for fiancé visa. So item 1A to 1C, report the beneficiary's full legal name if this differs from the name used on any official identity documents. You should pursue correction for those documents. So make sure the name in here, the family name, given name, and middle name can support the birth certificate of your beneficiary. Okay. Then on item 2, as described above, what I explained earlier, the alien registration number or A number applies only to an individual who applies previously initiated the immigration process. The beneficiary will not have an A number. For example, if she applied previously for just a visitor visa, if the beneficiary does not have an A number, just leave it blank. Okay, social security number, if the beneficiary has ever had a social security number, should be listed here. If not, leave it blank. Date of birth. Provide the beneficiary's date of birth. If the state of birth differs from the date of birth listed on any official document provided in this case, you will want to explore correcting those documents. So just make sure the birth certificate can support the date that you will put in here. But if there's an error on your birth certificate on the part of the beneficiary, you need to settle that first before you apply I-129F, so that you will not encounter the RFE. The USCIS will not give you an RFE if you cannot support the information that you provide in here. Okay, gender, if male or female, then marital status, if you are single, married, divorced, or widowed, and then city and country of birth as described above. Like I mentioned before, provide the municipality where you were born, not just the neighborhood and country of the birth. Okay, then country of citizenship, of nationality. If you have citizenship in more than one country, provide the information in part 8 at the bottom of this form. Okay, so other names used as described above, like what I've said before. If the beneficiary has ever used another name, it should be listed here. Okay, if not, just leave it blank. Okay, part 2, information about your beneficiary, continuation. So, mailing address for the beneficiary, list the address to which the beneficiary would like to have official correspondence mailed. So make sure the address that you will write here is the place where your beneficiary lives, or is the place where the beneficiary can receive any documents that will send to the beneficiary. Okay, make sure it's correct and complete. Okay, the next, your beneficiary address history as described above, like what I mentioned before, on the side of the petitioner. Provide the physical address where the beneficiary is lived for the past 5 years. And with the petitioner, there should be no interruption in this address here history. If there are, they should be explained in part 8. This address history needs to be complete going back 5 years. But if within 5 years, the beneficiary stayed in one place, just leave it blank and then put here present. Okay. The next, beneficiary physical address 2. Just put it in here if the beneficiary has. Okay. Then the beneficiary employment history. Provide the beneficiary's full employment history going back 5 years. If the beneficiary has never been employed in the past 5 years, write unemployed for item 16. Just put it in here, unemployed. But if within 5 years you have 2 jobs, just put the recent in here, and then the other one is in here. Okay, just make sure all the information are correct, and make sure the employment day start date in here is the same on the employment end date on the beneficiary employer too. Okay, and the next, information about your beneficiary parents. As you did with the petitioners above, provide information about the beneficiary's parents to the best of your ability. So meaning, ask your beneficiary about this. Oh, okay, so please take note, if the petitioner will fill out this form, make sure the petitioner asked the beneficiary's information, and make sure all the information of the beneficiary that you will fill out on this form is correct, and you have supporting documents for that. Okay, that is very important to avoid RFEs and also to avoid denial. Okay, family name, given name, middle name, date of birth, gender, country of birth, city, and country of residence. Then, the parents' information too, same. Okay. And then 34, has your beneficiary ever been previously married? If the beneficiary has ever been married anywhere in the world, that must be reported here. If there is more than one prior marriage, use Part A, the Part A at the bottom, to provide information about the other spouse or spouses. As described above, the date on which the marriage ended is the date on which the marriage was legally terminated or the spouse died. Okay? So, if yes, just click yes. If no, just click no. Okay. And then 37, has your beneficiary ever been in the United States? If the beneficiary has stepped foot into the United States even for 3 minutes, that must be reported here. Okay, you need to report it here. If yes, just click yes. If no, just click no. But if you click yes, the information on 38A to 38D, information about the beneficiary most recent trips to the United States. This item asks for legal information about the beneficiary's last trip to the United States. Item 38A asks for individual visa's status. Okay, the I-94 arrival departure record is completed at the time the individual enters and exits the country. Historically, this document was a small index card before. You can check the I-94 online. Okay, so just write the I-94 record number here and then date of the arrival. Then 38D, date authorized, stay, expire, you will expire, shown from I-94. You can see the answer to your I-94. Then 38E, passport number, report the beneficiary's current passport number. The passport will need to have at least 6 months of validity as of the date the individual is interviewed for the fiancé visa. It is possible to go ahead and file the initial petition, however, and then renew a passport prior to the visa interview. And then the travel document. Answer the item if you use a travel document such as a refugee document in lieu of the passport. Usually this is inapplicable. Okay. 38G, identify the country that issued your passport to travel document and its expiration. Then third, expiration date of the passport or travel document. Then, does your beneficiary have any children? Answer this question affirmatively if the beneficiary has any children, biological, adopted, or step anywhere in the world. If yes, just click yes. If no, just click no. And then if you click yes, items 48 to 43, give the full legal name, country of birth, date of birth for each of the beneficiaries' checked children. Use attentional space in Part 8 if needed. Also indicate if the child is residing with the beneficiary. Okay, so answer this question. Does the child reside with the beneficiary? Yes or no? Okay. And then 45A to 46, location where the beneficiary intends to reside in the United States. In the vast majority of scenarios, this will be the current residential address of the petitioner. The daytime telephone number can be the petitioner's cell phone number if he does not use the landline. If you do not know the address where you will reside, write unknown and provide an explanation in part 8. Okay, so usually this portion is the same on the petitioner's address, the physical address. Okay, and then 47A to 48, beneficiary's physical address abroad. List the actual street address where the beneficiary is currently living. Okay. The next, 49 to 50, beneficiary's name and address in native alphabet. Complete this if the beneficiary is from a country that use anything other than Latin characters such as Cyrillic, Mandarin, Thai, etc. This item poses an obnoxious logical challenge because the addition or is not always able to write in that language. Okay, one practical solution is to write C attachment in item 49A. Okay, then have the beneficiary write out the answer either by hand or computer application and provide the document to the petitioner to include as an attachment. If you are completing the petition Adobe Reader, the beneficiary can also open that file, enter the answer in her native language, and then save it and return to the petitioner. Okay, if there is what do you call this, her native alphabet, just type in here C attachment, and then the beneficiary will write down on their native language or alphabet her name. Okay. 51 to 52, are the petitioner beneficiary related? This should be answered with yes only if the couple has a known familial relationship, such as second cousin. So just indicate no, then NA. Then 53, have you and your fiancé met in person in the past 2 years? The answer to this question should be yes, or you will need to seek a waiver of the in-person meeting requirement. So on 54, if you answered no to number 53, then you will need to provide information for why you deserve an exception to the in-person meeting requirement. That is going to require a whole lot more information than you can provide on the lines given here on the form. So just simply write C attach for item 54. Then prepare a detailed declaration in support of the waiver request. Just explain why you did not meet during the 2 years. Okay, and also if you answered yes in here, just explain the reason or detailed story of your meeting. Okay, if you can fit your explanation in this box, just write it down, but if not, just write please see attachment. Okay, on 55 to 61, international marriage broker or IMB information. This section applies only if you and the beneficiary met through a international marriage broker. As far as I know, this is if you met through on dating site. I'm not really sure, but you can search for that. But as far as I know, if you met through the IMB or the dating site, you must put it in here and provide supporting documents. Okay, then just fill out this. Then consular processing information. Your beneficiary will apply for a visa abroad at the U.S. Embassy or U.S. Consulate at. So, identify the U.S. Consulate where the beneficiary will go for her visa interview. Okay? So, if Manila, then Philippines. Then part 3, other information. On item 1, if you've ever been subjected to a temporary or permanent protection or restraining order anywhere in the world, must answer yes to this item. If no, just click no. On item 2A to 4V, no history. These questions ask about criminal background issues that could potentially prevent the petitioner from seeking a fiancé visa for the beneficiary. You are willing into seriously complex legal territory if you need to answer yes to any of these questions. So, just click no. 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 Okay. So this one, you don't need to write anything on this because you click no. Then this one, 4A, no. Okay. Then multiple filer waiver request information. 5A to 5C, apply if you are seeking a waiver due to a criminal background issue or having filed successive prior fiancé visa petitions. If you are not, respond with item 5D in applicable. If you do require a waiver, that is a serious matter that will require substantial additional attention in your application. Okay, just leave it blank if no. Then part 4, biographic information. This section requests mandatory biographic information about the petitioner. Answer to the best of your ability. If you care to elaborate on your answer, for example, with respect to race or ethnicity, you may do so in part 8 at the bottom. So, ethnicity, no. Hispanic, race, height, weight, eye color, hair color. Then, petitioner's statement. Select the box for either item number 1A or 1B if applicable. Select the box for item number 2. So 1A, I can read and understand English and I have read and understand every question and instruction on this petition and may answer to every question. But if you have interpreter, just put it here. The interpreter name in part 6, read to every question, instruction, petition, and answer to every question. Okay, then petitioner's contact information. Make sure the contact information and then the email address is active because that is very important. Okay, because once the USCIS receive your application, the USCIS will send a notification to your mobile phone as a SMS and email. Okay, then petitioner's declaration and certification, just read that. And then petitioner's signature, make sure you sign this application once you print. Don't forget to sign. Okay, and use black ink and then the date. Okay, if you use interpreter, just fill this question. Okay, if not, just leave it blank. But if someone prepared this and not the petitioner, just fill this information. But if not, just leave it blank. Okay. Part 8, this is the part 8 that I mentioned before. Okay. Then family name, then given name. Okay. So that's it. Sorry if it is too long because I want to explain it in detail. And if you have questions, clarifications, please feel free to comment on my video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.